Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today we're in Clovelly. And before you say anything, we're in Devon.
You're not in Cornwall?
No. Hey Andrew, we're at Clovelly.
I'm not sure about this, Sarah.
Why?
This is a beautiful village apparently in Devon.
Yes.
But you have to pay to walk around the village.
Yeah. It's a tourist destination.
We're just going to pay to look at pretty views when you can go anywhere along this coast and see some beautiful views wherever you want to go along the cliff top. I don't understand why we're paying to go in here. I don't think this is going to be for me.
Okay, let's go. Clovelly is a small, unique village on the north coast of Devon, famous for its cobbled, traffic-free street, idyllic cottages and historic harbour. So I want to go down through the village. The houses are exquisite, the harbour is beautiful. Yes, you've got to pay an entrance fee, which is unusual. Should you pay an entrance fee to visit a village? The TripAdvisor comments are mixed. Here are some of them now. Great experience, well worth the visit.
Questionable value here.
And Chris from Hinckley gave it 3 stars and just said, okay.
Get with the times.
Horrendous.
And my personal favourite, pay to walk around a village? No!
The overall score for the village is 3.5 out of a possible 5 stars on TripAdvisor. When we drilled down into the last 12 months' comments, the score is the same. It scores about 3.5. Let's take a look at some of those TripAdvisor comments in a bit more detail. Rian enjoyed her visit in July 2024, saying it was a stunning piece of history, well worth the entrance fee. Cobbled street, no cars and donkeys. What more could you wish for? Oh, and by the sea.
Damien ATW visited in July 2024. He gave it 5 stars and said amazing village. It was a lovely sunny day when we visited this fantastic place. We paid to enter and didn't begrudge it one bit. There were some people moaning about the price at the visitor centre, but they were missing the point completely and perhaps would be better off going somewhere like Butlins instead.
ERT reviews in June of this year said tourist trap. We went to Clovelly having done very little research, so we're surprised to find you have to pay to get in. And it's a steep cobblestone walk down to the sea. It's a tourist trap. Jill Whittam was not impressed at all. She gave Clovelly 1 star in July 2024. She said this place should carry a government health warning. It was an absolutely horrendous experience. Charged us £9 each to walk down a steep cobbled pathway, which is incredibly hard to walk on and extremely unpleasant. By the time I got to the bottom, I was too traumatised to look around. Complete waste of time and money, and the whole hideous experience left me rattled for the whole day. We noticed that the reviews on TripAdvisor seemed to be either brilliant or really scathing. There didn't seem to be a lot in between. It's a bit of a Marmite experience, and a lot of it seems to come down to the entrance fee. Let's look at the common threads. Looking through the TripAdvisor comments, the common threads are that it is a great day out, the entrance fee divides people's opinion, and there are lots of warnings about the cobbled street being steep and slippery. Upon arrival there is a large free car park. You then pass through the visitor centre and are charged your entrance fee. And to be fair, the person on reception desk did warn us that it is steep and it could be slippery. So what about that entrance fee? What are they charging? From March 2024 to visit Clovelly, an adult will pay £9.50. Child 7 to 16 years, £5.50. Under 7s go free. There is a family ticket, 2 adults and 2 children for £25. Your entrance fee includes the Clovelly Film Show, which can be found downstairs beyond the toilets. We didn't stay for long and the auditorium was empty.
I'm standing on the remains of a substantial Iron Age fort, just a mile or so from the village of Clovelly.
Also included in your entry fee is access to Clovelly Court Gardens, which is the actual old walled gardens of the estate, a 10-minute walk away from the car park, and we will explore that later in the video. This is part of your entrance fee. I love this. Who needs to go to Eden? In a recent interview for the Daily Telegraph, the owner of Clovelly said, "Charging fee to visit my Devon village paid off."
In 1983, John Roos inherited Clovelly and he began to make some major investment in tourism. In 1988, he built a visitor centre and for the first time charged a per-person entrance fee to visit the village, rather than charging to park your car. Visitor numbers went up, and today about 150,000 people a year visit Clovelly.
If you arrive from the southwest coast path, you will not pass through the visitor centre, and therefore you can enter the village without paying. If you're enjoying our video, don't forget to like, maybe leave a comment, and subscribe for more videos about walks and days out in Cornwall. As we explore the village, we will bear in mind those common threads. Are we going to have a great day out? Is the entrance fee going to mar our day? And just how steep and slippery is the cobbled street? Okay, they're not joking about these couples. Andrew's just gone over already. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You went flying.
No, it was my own fault.
Why?
I think.
You weren't concentrating, were you?
Wasn't concentrating, no.
Okay.
There's cobbles, isn't it? They're a bit slippy.
Very slippery. Bit damp. There are no cars in Clovelly, so sledges are used to bring anything up and down the cobbled street, ironically making full use of that slippery characteristic of those cobbles. In the past, donkeys used to pull the sledges. They no longer do so, but there are some here on site and we will see them later. Obviously some building work going on here at the moment, and that's what the entrance fee goes for, the upkeep of the village itself. It's not changed, there's no new development, it's all been stopped, it's frozen in time. So let's go and have a look. No parking, the irony.
No parking a donkey.
No cars in the way. We did sneak a few books in the bag. So this one is Highways and Byways in Devon and Cornwall. And it was written by Arthur H. Norway with illustrations by Joseph Pennell and Hugh Thompson. Anyway, it was published in 1911. And if we turn to the page about Clovelly, he writes, "What is like Clovelly? And with that similitude shall I make the clear aspect of the most exquisite town in England? There is none. One is the richer in experience for having seen Clovelly. Elsewhere, there is nothing like it." So that was written over 100 years ago, and I still think it stands up well today. It is unique and beautiful, and there is nothing quite like it.
In there, yeah. So do you think usual man's fault?
Let me show you something. Up here. Right. So up here,
Yeah.
it's got initials.
CH.
It says CH.
It's number
And
37.
over there, it's got a date.
1910.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll come away because it's obviously someone's private property.
Yes.
But in this lovely book, it's called the Devon Village Book. It was published in 1990 and it was written by the WI, the Women's Institute. And they know everything, don't they?
Absolutely. They know everything that goes on in a village.
So it talks about Clovelly in here.
Yes.
Let me just read this section because this is relevant to what we're just looking at on the door here. I'll take my glasses off so I can read. It says the most influential owner of Clovelly in recent years was Christine Hamlin, a small, formidable lady who controlled and patrolled the village for 52 years until she died in 1934. She cared greatly for her tenants and continued her parents' work of a restoration of many cottages. Her initials and a date are carved in the plaster of these cottages, confusing visitors as to the age of the buildings. Most have origins in the 1500s when cob was widely used. In 1929 she ensured the continuation of Clovelly as a living village by forming Clovelly Estate Company.
So all of these cottages are let on a full-time basis to tenants, so very few of them you can actually go inside. There are a couple though. I have no idea where I'm going. Right, so this has got a big sign on it, big clue, Charles Kingsley Museum, so he was an author, and looks like we can go in this one.
Okay.
Charles Kingsley lived in Clovelly as a child and returned many times as an adult, where he wrote Westward Ho!
3 fishers went sailing out into the west as the sun went down. Each thought of the woman who loved him the best, and children stood watching him out of the door.
Almost expect him to turn around and say, get out my room.
Right, well, I'll take the hint. Let's go to the fisherman's cottage, is it? I don't know. The Water Babies?
Yeah, it's one of his novels, isn't it? And he did Westward Ho!
Neither of which I've actually read, have you?
No.
Fisherman's Cottage evokes the nostalgia of a bygone era and comes complete with a net loft and its own well. The other building that's open to explore in the village is St Peter's Chapel.
It does feel as if you've been transported back 100 years, doesn't it?
I'm still struggling to compute what I'm seeing. Maybe by the end of the day I'll have figured it out, but it's extraordinary, it really is. It's like nowhere else we've visited, is it?
I've just gone off for a little wander. I've just noticed these on the side of the house here. We're on a flat area here. I reckon these were for tying up the donkeys years ago, outside the pub.
I wondered where you'd gone.
Come to the conclusion that because people have got to pay to come in here, I think it actually sort of almost like restricts the numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel oppressively busy, does it? You feel as if you can still go and explore a little bit.
Yeah, you can still breathe.
Yeah, yeah. What I also really like about this is the fact that because people do live here, I think none of these are holiday homes or second homes or anything like that.
All full-time rentals.
Yeah, and you kind of get that impression that it probably is still a community here.
Yeah, I like it. I am enjoying wandering around. It feels like quite a privilege actually that you're allowed to mingle amongst the cottages and explore the lifestyle that this village has adopted, because at the end of the day it's done the different path to most villages. Most villages will embrace tourism, throw most of their properties, sea views, over to Airbnb. This has done exactly the opposite. They've stopped in time, they've stopped development. They're lived in full time, the community has remained. Where people live, you get animals, don't you? You get cats. In Mousel, we didn't see one cat. Oh, he's coming, we've got to say hello. Oh,
cute. What's it like living here?
Do you get the guts and the fish and the leftovers and the scraps?
I get the leftover pasties because they're Devon pasties and they're not very nice.
Oh, controversial.
I didn't say that. They do funny things with their cream tea as well.
You are so cute, but we're going to go on down to the harbour now, my sweet. Yeah, we are. We keep getting distracted looking at these beautiful little cottages and the gardens that have grown up around them. There's tiny little patches of earth and they've made the most of them. Let's go down here and see the sea. These little houses, I must admit, I'm asking myself the question, what would it be like to actually live here with visitors roaming outside your front door, gazing in through your windows. But I guess that's part of the deal.
I think it's got to be, isn't it?
When
It goes absolutely hand in hand, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't live...
This place survives on tourism.
Yeah,
let's
it's
face
a
it, doesn't
symbiotic relationship.
Yes, and I don't think they actually describe it as a tourist attraction. I think they say it's a tourist destination, isn't it? And it is, isn't it? It is. It's August as well. It's 2024. It's school summer holidays, and it's busy. I wouldn't say it's silly busy. It's pleasant. It's okay, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and people are being so polite. There's narrow gaps, and it's lovely. Everybody's being really polite, smiling, and going, "No, you go through. No, you go through."
But the thing I'm noticing, there is no sound of cars, is there?
No.
It does feel
really
as if you've been
quiet.
transported back in time.
We'll just show you the view. It's fantastic, even on this murky, miserable day.
Have you noticed that every single cottage is different?
Yeah, but they are all cottages. They all have slate roofs. They've just got a slightly different characteristic to make it individual, haven't they?
But you know you're in Clovelly, don't you?
Yeah.
Because of this. Almost outside every house, they've got their own sledge.
No. God, imagine.
Yeah.
I actually think living in this village would be quite hard work.
I do too.
I think this is the steepest bit.
That is one of the complaints when you go onto TripAdvisor. People
Yeah.
say it's too steep and it's slippy on the cobbles.
They do warn you that at the
They
entrance.
do, and I think it is a little bit slippy. You've got to be a bit careful. It's on a day like today where you get a little bit of rain, isn't it?
Yeah. No matter how we film this, we are never going to get an idea on film of the gradient that we're walking down. And on the way back up, I've seen lots of families with young children, really young children. They just can't do it. They keep just falling over going, "I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. I want my
Pick
dinner.
me up, mummy." Lots of parents carrying young children. So you might want to bear that one in mind. I'm not carrying you.
Could I say as well, I think you've been quite brave vlogging and walking.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit mad. I'm going to put the camera down.
That's true, what?
Apple cider.
Thank you very much. I think that will help me get back up the hill. Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
So tourists have been coming to Clovelly for years, absolutely years. This goes back to 140 years ago. Anyway, what does it say? It said Clovelly, one of the most delightful, curious and continental looking places in the country, 11 miles west from Bideford railway station and 5 miles east-northeast from Hartland. And there is an area around here called the Hobby Drive, and he was on foot and he actually approached it through the Hobby Drive. It's part of the cliff around here. And he came here and he was fascinated by it. From the rocks below or from the sea, the clean, whitewashed walls are thrown out in bold relief by the blue waters beneath, and the framework of dark cliffs and oak leaves in which they are encircled, making the scene one of a truly foreign and romantic character. The street is an irregular flight of steps made of pebbles found in such abundance on the beach, and is so steep that no carriages can be taken down, but have to be left at the brow of the hill, luggage conveyed up and down by sure-footed donkeys. Well, they've gone these days, but they are still up in the stables. There are donkeys here, but they're not put to use. You now have human pack horses that they drag the sleds up and down this steep hill. It's so pretty.
So Sarah,
Yeah.
we've paid £19 for the two of us to come and look at pretty views.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
It hasn't actually crossed my mind. I've been so concentrating on not slipping over. And the distraction is pretty cottages, isn't it? I actually, at the end of the day, think it's quite clever. A recent article in the Saturday Telegraph in March of this year gave more detail about Clovelly. It reads, on the North Devon coast there's a stunningly beautiful, authentic village frozen in time. England is not short of such places. The difference with Clovelly is that there are no cars, second homeowners are banned, and you have to pay to enter. The owner, John Rouse, describes it as an estately village. The entrance fee is used to maintain the village, and he admits that at first it didn't go down well. The Western Daily Press declared it a tax on tourists. All of the cottages are still owned by the estate, and Rouse interviews prospective tenants personally, all of whom must commit to living there full-time. He warns them from the outset that the 150,000 visitors to Clovelly each year are part and parcel of living here. If you love the sweep of the bay and you've always wanted to live in a traffic-free zone, but you can't stand tourists, then it won't work for you. So what do you think of Clovelly? Do you think you should pay to come into a village? Or is it just recognition that he took a brave move? He decided to go against the norm. Did he just get away with it? It's legal. Is it? I don't know. I wouldn't even pretend to know. You are passing on private land, and instead of charging per car, he's decided to charge per person. It's kind of clever. In making that decision, he's ensured the community remains lived in. He's also ensured that the houses are maintained, presumably and hopefully then generations can live in this community and work within the estate. And it becomes that cycle. It's quite an old-fashioned concept. Is it out of date? I guess at the end of the day, I have a grudging respect for this guy. He took a bold move, it's worked, and he's earning a living and keeping his community together. And if it does provide accommodation and hope and independence for young people within this village, it's better than Cornwall. Our kids can't move out, they can't afford a house, so maybe I'm coming at it from that point of view. If your point of view is different, by all means, put it in the comments. So part of the entrance fee is admission to the court garden, which we're going to go up to in a minute. You have an option at this point to jump on a Land Rover to take you up to the car park, or you can meander back up through the village, and I think that's part of the experience. How steep is it? Is it a challenge to get up there? Well, I'm willing to take it on, and we'll see how we do. I want to get to the stables to see the donkeys too.
He didn't like the look of you.
That's not me, it's just warm. Oh, there's 4 of them.
I can see 4 tails.
Yeah. We're just walking up to the court garden. It's the old walled garden for the estate, and it's a 10-minute or so walk from the visitor centre. This yet again feels like you're stepping back 100 years, doesn't it? It's like a traditionally kind of cultivated garden. Oh my goodness.
It feels like a bit of a secret garden, doesn't it?
It does. Wow. In here, isn't it? Walled garden. They look exquisite, don't they?
Reminds me a little bit of Halligan.
Port Elliot.
Port Elliot, yes, yeah.
But done up.
Yeah. Is that cucumbers in that one?
If you like gardens you like going around gardens, I think you'll find this heavenly. Wow, there are so many plants in here. From your edibles to ornamentals. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, wow, and this is part of your entry fee. Love it. I think one of the reasons that I love this, my granddad used to be a horticulturalist, and he had these old-fashioned Victorian greenhouses, and as a child I can remember wandering through them on planks of like scaffolding boards. So perhaps for me this is a trip down that nostalgic route. But I think even if you don't like gardens, you'd be amazed at the drama of some of these plants. They're so successful that you can't get through the doorway. Where's the lemons? Wow! Oh, look! Yeah! Who needs to go to Eden?
Visit Devon. Much better than Cornwall.
Can't say that,
Yeah.
we won't be allowed back across the border.
Don't put that bit in. It's still a bit odd.
I won't my anthem. For me, this courtyard garden is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It's how you'd imagine a garden would have been 150 years ago in the Victorian era, isn't it?
Yeah, and everything's been clean and tidy and well presented.
Yeah.
And it looks as if the village is cared for.
They're proud of it,
They are
aren't
proud
they?
of it.
They
They've done a
love
really
it.
good job.
They absolutely love it. So we're now going to go into the church, aren't we? I would like to try to see if we could find the dedication to Christine Hamlin, the CH, on all of the buildings in the village.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
So we came into the church to find this. It's the dedication to Christine Hamlin, who kind of restored and remodelled the village. That's her initials, the CH, that are on the buildings in the village. And that's the dates that when she restored them, she put the dates on, as we said earlier. Gosh, she was 80 in 1936 when she died.
I wonder what she would make of all this now. I think she'd be quite proud.
She put the foundations in place. I think she would probably say, "You clever boy, you didn't charge by car, you charged by person." Smart move. So before we leave, we visited Clovelly Village today, unique in Britain because you actually have to pay an entry fee to visit.
Yeah, when you said to me today, do you fancy a trip to Devon to pay to get into a village, I fussed.
You did a bit.
It's not the sort of thing you do, is it? You
No.
normally just park somewhere. Yes, you pay for your parking and you
Yeah.
walk around a little
Yeah.
town or a village and you just have a nice day. And the principle of that. So I don't know, it didn't sit comfortably with me. I genuinely thought I would be in that crowd of TripAdvisor comments which basically said this is outrageous.
Horrendous.
But I've been converted.
Oh my goodness
I
me.
know. I've had a lovely day.
Well, so have I. I've got nothing more to add. I will give you my CWT out of 5 score, and I can't fault it. I think for £9.50 the visitor centre is well catered. It's set up for a visitor. It gives you everything you need. It's a beautiful village. It's clean, it's tidy, and I just can't fault it. They're doing properties up, but that's the deal, isn't it? I've got to give it a 5.
Okay. It is unique. I
Yeah.
cannot think of anywhere I've been which is the same as this. You've got
Yeah.
there's no cars, there's no
Yeah.
second homes.
No.
It's filled with tourists, but everybody is doing the same thing. They're just enjoying the village, aren't they?
And that trip back down nostalgic lane,
Yeah.
isn't it? There's no new development, is there? It is as it was years and years ago, decades ago.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed my time here today. I can't fault it either, and it's a 5 out of 5 from me as well, and I genuinely didn't think I was going to give it a 5 today.
So we're giving it a 5. My goodness me, I didn't either. I'm shocked at that. Okay, well, we'll leave it there, and we will see you again next time. So for now, bye-bye.
Bye.